communities, you can see that the Southern white diaspora looks much more similar in terms of their racial attitude to the white populations living in the South as compared to those living in the rest of the country.
Do you think that the influence of this group was mainly that they settled in places that weren't as popular, so they kind of had an outsized impact? Or do you think they influenced their neighbors?
So I think we certainly find evidence of that outsized impact in these places that are less populous. But the other thing that we find is that indeed there does seem to be a very kind of localized intergroup contact. You're maybe going to the same church every Sunday, your children may be going to the same schools. So I think there are kind of a lot of really localized neighborhood-based channels through which these migrants could be influencing their neighbors. One thing that we do see quite clearly in the data is that, just to give you a concrete example, take a non-Southern white individual. If they are moving to a community where there happens to be a large Southern white migrant population, what we actually are able to see is that when you're exposed to that Southern white diaspora among your very local neighbors, you begin to give your children more religious names and tend to send a strong signal to others of your religiosity.
So let me be clear again that your report is based on statistical data. Can you tell us why you're so convinced that you can draw conclusions about the influence of this migration in the early 20th century on election results decades later?
The first is that we're indeed focused on that early wave of mass migration of whites out of the South in the early 1900s. And we're detecting a kind of impact on politics and a rightward shift in the communities to which they're migrating as early as the 1960s. And of course, the 1960s were this kind of critical juncture in American politics as conservatives really realigned behind the Republican Party. And we saw the kind of mass exodus of Southern white voters from the Democratic Party. We also see that they begin to lose voters from the Southern white diaspora outside the South, and the communities in which that diaspora had begun to build deep roots in the middle of the 20th century. And then, of course, as partisan politics have really calcified in America, we've really seen the imprint of that diaspora persisting all the way through to the last, say, 5 or 6 presidential elections.
Before we let you go, where do you want to take this research next?
What we're doing is really digging deeply into the immediate post-Civil War era